Okay.
I am, thank you. You?
Yeah, good, thanks. Obviously, Virgil said after the game at the weekend that there was going to be a meeting to thrash a few things out. I don't know whether you were part of that, but are you able to give us any insight as to what was thrashed out in that, or at the very least tell us how positive an exercise that could be for you guys?
I'm not aware of that, Virgil, what he actually said, but I think, as always, we had a post-match meeting led by me. I think once this season, as far as I'm aware of, the players came together. I don't even know which game that was, but was months ago already. So we did have a post-match meeting to talk about all the positives we've done in that game, but also shown where we can do a little bit better to make sure that if you have a performance like that, where you have so many shots, most shots by any team in the Premier League this season, that then doesn't result in a draw, but that result then ends up in a win for us.
Obviously, I mentioned Virgil. He's set to make his 350th appearance for Liverpool, becoming the 50th in Liverpool's history to reach that total as well. How do you sum up his contribution to the club, both before and during your time?
Yeah, that's been unbelievable. Of course, won the league twice, won the Champions League, and some domestic cups as well. But apart from that, I think he only had one big injury in his career at Liverpool, and no, it's not even fair to take his age into account, maybe. But for him to be as fit as he is for such a long period, because as you see, and all of you see, I play him almost every game. And the level he brings is still very, very, very good for us. So, and that to be fit every single 3 days. So in 2 days we have to go to after 2 days of rest we need to go to Bournemouth again. And it's not only him; all these players that are overloaded quite a bit because we have 3 big injuries. That's why we have to play many times the same players, and Virgil is one of them. And to stay at that level and constantly be fit, and for all the things he's won for this club, he should, then that is only positive. Yeah.
And just to check a couple of things with you, is there any chance Konate could still join up with the squad? And also, how ready is Mo Salah to come back into the starting lineup as well, given that he's back training with you after AFCON?
Yeah. No, I didn't travel with us because of family matters, and I would leave it with that. And I will speak to him tomorrow. To speak to him, I will speak to him tomorrow again. But he not traveled with us, so and that's because of family matters. And I would leave it with that. And with Mo, I'm really happy and pleased that he's back, because in his absence, I think we've done quite okay in terms of hardly conceding any chance. We started to create more and more, and if you start to create more and more, it's really helpful to have a player like Mo Salah, because if there's ever been a player, I think there was one who scored more for this club, but that can score goals and that I can still play. I don't think I can play Ian Rush still. Then it's really helpful to have him back, because we would never know, but the amount of chances, the amount of ball possession against Burnley with Mo on the pitch would usually mean that we would have scored more. So yeah, that's why I'm really happy that he's back, because creating chances is nice, but we're only judged on the result, and that wasn't nice. So hopefully we can combine two things: so create the same chances, able to score more, and keep not conceding chances on the other end.
Bonjour coach, 2 questions en français s'il vous plaît.
Coach, you have been here before in the past a few years ago. Maybe a bad memories for us. Yeah, sure. You've been here You've been here before in this stadium a few years ago, and it is not a great memory for us here in Marseille, because you did qualify with Feyenoord. That night, part of the Marseille supporters were not there. One of the. Do you expect something very different as far as supporters, because the stadium will be full tomorrow as opposed to last time?
Yeah, indeed, I have great memories to this place. First of all, because indeed we went through to the final of the Conference League. Second of all, because it was an unbelievable atmosphere with not even a full stadium, as you mentioned. And this is such a historic stadium. And I was just on the pitch. The pitch looks incredible as well. So playing here is always nice when you have a nice memory, but this memory doesn't give me anything for tomorrow. The fans will be just as passionate, maybe even more as last time, because the stadium is full now, where last time one part of it couldn't be used. But we not only here for a great atmosphere, we also have to face a very good Marseille team. We have a very good squad and a very good manager that has shown in England how good he is, and has shown in more places in the world how good he is, but especially also at Brighton. And he's having a great squad. He's adding, if rumours are right, a very good player with Quinten Timber. I had him at Feyenoord. So yeah, he already has Petchau, who I also had at Feyenoord. So a game to look forward to for me, and definitely also for us.
Et j'avais
I also have a question about Timber. You recruited him back in the days, and now he should come to Marseille tomorrow. What could you tell us about him and also his positioning on the pitch? Because after your departure from the Netherlands, he's been used a little bit higher on the pitch. What do you think about that, and where do you think he's the most performant on the pitch?
Now, first of all, I can only say very positive things about Quinten Timber as a person. His mentality in the time I've worked with him has been outstanding. A leader in the group, as I experienced it. Always showed up in big moments, so in difficult games we had to play, he was always there. So his mentality is like his brother, Jurrien Timber, is outstanding. He can play in an offensive role, he can play in a bit more defensive role, but I think in between is in my opinion, his best. And with the way Roberto De Zerbi is playing, I would be surprised if this is not going to be a success, because De Zerbi has shown many times that he can bring the best out of players, and he gets a very good player with a lot of quality and a great human being with great mentality to work with. So usually that combination makes things really positive for Olympique Marseille.
At the back.
Oui, en français aussi.
Coach. Bonjour, Florent Germain de RMC Sport. Je voulais que vous développiez.
I would like you to develop about Roberto De Zerbi. Do you think he is part of the great coaches, European coaches, and maybe it would be led to lead some greater teams than Marseille, for example, in the future in England? Do you think he has a specific approach, a specific style, and is a different coach in this sense?
Yeah, I regard him as one of the best managers in the world, because in my opinion, that should not always be judged on the amount of trophies you win. It should also be judged on the fact how you let your team play. And I think he's already working at a very big club, because Marseille is a very big club at the moment, but history-wise as well. And yeah, I'm not the one that's hiring coaches, but if I was one, he would definitely be very high on the list if I worked at a big club. Because I always like his team. I always like to watch his teams, and unfortunately, he's working in France now, so I follow not the Dutch, yeah, as well, by the way, the Dutch league, but the English league, of course, a little bit more. So when he was at Brighton, I saw his teams playing more, but it's also what he wants. But he's a very good manager, and it's not always fair to judge managers only on what they win. It should also be the style of play should be, in my opinion, very important as well, and the development of players. And that's what you see with him, that players always develop very well. And then sometimes when he leaves, these players are not as good anymore as they were with him. And that usually tells me how good of a manager you are.
Carl?
Hi, Anna.
Hi.
just to go back to Mo, when he left for the AFCON, I think it's probably generous to say he had maybe some doubts or confusion about his relationship with the club and with you. I'm just wondering if you can tell us or give us an idea of how you see your relationship. Has that changed since he's been away, or have you spoken to him about it since he came back, or how is the situation now as you see it?
As normal as it's always been. There was only one exception, and that was the game against Inter, where I didn't took him. But for all other games, he was there. And in the last game, he was at Liverpool. Before he went to the AFCON, he came in after 15, 20 minutes. And I think he had a very good performance in that game. So we were 1-0 up at the time, and we beat Brighton with 2-0. So I think he left in a situation that was good for him and for us, because we beat Brighton and he played again. And then he went to the AFCON, again did what he usually does, scoring goals. Unfortunately, he couldn't win the tournament, but there were other very good teams in that tournament as well. But got to the semi-final, and now he's back with us. And of course, I spoke to him today, and I'm happy to have him back, because, as I said, this season I've only had two wingers who would tell me that's their favorite position, that are able to play more than 100, that have played more than 100 minutes in the Premier League, and that's Mo and Cody. And there are other players who can definitely play in that position really good, by the way, as well, like Jeremy Frimpong and like Florian Wirtz. But if I ask Florian which is his favorite position, I don't think he's going to tell me left or right winger. I think he's going to tell me another position. But he's able to play there really well. And Jeremy, the same. I think he's mainly played as a fullback, but he's shown, especially also in the last game and also against Arsenal, how much a threat he can be off the right side. But in the last game against Burnley, he played as a fullback, by the way. So to have Mo back is, of course, helpful, because in his absence, we've created a lot of chances and not always converted them. And I think I saw today that he scored 45 goals for Liverpool at Champions League level, and the next player is a player with 5 goals, Virgil van Dijk. So it's nice to have him back, especially if he's able to reach that levels again, where he was able to score the 45, and that's what he can show tomorrow evening.
The front.
Arne, good evening. I can't help asking, but what do you think about the rumors about Xabi Alonso and Liverpool? Does they hurt you, and do you feel the rising pressure from your fans who are booing their team? And maybe you've talked to Xabi, maybe he called you, sorry.
Yeah, he called me. He called me and asked, what do you think about the team? Because I'm going to take over in 6 months. So can you tell me a little bit more? Or maybe earlier, maybe he takes over tomorrow. No. This is one of the most weirdest questions I've ever got. Yeah, what's there to say to your answer? I'm working here now for a little bit more than 1.5 years, and I really like my work over here. Won the league last season, struggle more in the league this season. That's also obvious. So yeah, what's there left to say? And the booze, that's also what you said. Now, maybe I heard a few, but it wasn't as if it was a lot. But I think it's also completely normal if you have a draw at home against Burnley, that no one is happy about that. But I think the moment the people went home, they probably, when the emotions calmed down, they probably thought like, ooh, it's been a while. It's in the 1.5 years that I'm at Liverpool, we've never created so many chances against the low block as we did in that game. So maybe it was a little bit more positive than the results showed. But we're in the result business. I'm aware of that.
Hi, Arne. Artur Kovács, RTL Hungary. Dominik Szoboszlai is also able to score in goals, and he scored goals in the recent Champions League games against Frankfurt, PSV, and Inter also. So is he more effective in scoring goals? What do you think about it?
No, he's one of the players that is best if he plays at the midfield. And this year I had to use him a lot as a winger or as a fullback as well, which is a position he can play. But for obvious reasons, I had to play him also in different positions because players were unavailable for several reasons. But that Dominik has had a very good time here at Liverpool. Already 2.5 years, but I can say most about the 1.5 year I'm working with him. He's been very important to us, to the team. He could have scored a goal more, by the way, if he would have scored his penalty this weekend. But yeah, I think it was his second miss from 22 or 23 penalties. It's probably not a coincidence that it happens in this season. So because every time it's when Alexander Isak scores his goal and we're thinking, bam, now he's going. He gets injured for 3 months. When we have a very good game against Arsenal in the last minutes, it's a big injury for Conor Bradley that makes us sad again. If we're 3-2 up against Fulham and we think, now we're going to go, we concede a 3-3 in extra time. If we're 3-2 up against Leeds in extra time, we concede a 3-3 again. So it's a constant repetition of moments where we hurt ourselves or we get injuries. And but this team has shown many times this season and last season that we're able to fight back in difficult circumstances. This club has shown that many times, but this club has shown that many times as well. And even this year, the amount of setbacks we had and the mentality they have shown every single game that they go out there. Because there's not one game, except maybe for the City game, that we were outplayed in the first half, by the way, not for the whole game. Palace first half, Palace was definitely the better team on the pitch as well. So this team has showed so much mentality, doing it with a squad, because we have a few long-term injuries, that it's almost every time the same players that we have to give these players. But Dominik is one of them. A lot of credits for the mentality they've shown this season.
And last one here, Jason.
Hi, Arne. With Mo Salah being away, has it given you a chance to reflect on the situation and what happened before? Do you regret anything that happened before? And also, is it almost now a chance for a fresh start between the pair of you?
I think I just answered that question already. There's been a moment in the season where I decided not to play Mo. And there's been one moment where I decided not to take him to the game. And for all the other games, he's been always in the squad, and I brought him in as the first substitution against Brighton. So at that moment of time, there's never been an issue for me. But at that moment of time, I think the outside world could see that there was no issue. And he's the first time he's able to be in the squad again. He is, because he trained with us today, and he's in the squad for tomorrow. And let's see for the lineup tomorrow if you still think there's an issue.
Well, thank you, guys.
You're welcome.